Hello, welcome back to the Adrian Project. I'm Adrian with a face for radio, and on today's Halloween special I'm going to be giving you my top 5 alternative horror movies for this scary season. So, without further ado, cue the music. Coming in at number 5 is 2013's The Wicked. It is a bedtime story every kid in the small town of Somerset has heard but never believed, but this year is different. 7-year-old Amanda is abducted from her bedroom. Rumours swirl, the witch has returned. 18-year-old Zach and his friends decide to sneak into the woods and find the mysterious old house where the legendary witch supposedly lives. They all soon discover that folklore isn't always myth and that their bedtime stories sometimes come true. Zach and his friends find themselves trapped in the witch's lair. Is there any escape from the wicked once the spell has been cast? The Wicked, yeah, if you don't mind low-budget horror films, I think you'll really enjoy this. It's one of those where you can pick it up for next to nothing in your local video store where they buy videos from. Like I said, it is low-budget. The actors in there's no name actors that I would have recognised before I watched this film. The CGI effects, yeah, okay, they might be a little bit ropey, but I think they've done a really good job with the witch, and the effects makeup on the witch, played by Cassie Keller, I think her name is. Switch your brain off for 90 minutes and I think you'll get a lot out of this video. And just as a side note, the Oscar for best hair in any movie must go to Nicole Forrester. So, The Wicked, out of 5, I'm going to give it 4 evil Ednas. After that, coming in at number 4 is 2016's The Autopsy of Jane Doe. Experienced coroner Tommy Tilden and his grown-up son Austin run a family-owned morgue and crematorium in Virginia. When the local sheriff brings in an emergency case, an unknown female corpse nicknamed Jane Doe, found in the basement of a home where a multiple homicide took place, it seems like just another open and shut case. But as the autopsy proceeds, these seasoned professionals are left reeling as each layer of their inspection brings frightening new revelations. While a violent storm rages outside, it seems the real horrors lie on the inside. The Autopsy of Jane Doe. I saw the trailer for this, just could not wait to get to see it. Stars Brian Cox, who was always brilliant in just about everything he does, and Emil Hirsch. It was done by the chap that did Troll Hunter, another film that only just narrowly didn't make this list. I really love Troll Hunter. If you're not into gore, you might want to give this one a miss. There are a couple of scenes, that's an autopsy, isn't it? So it's a bit gory, you might turn your stomach a bit, but the story behind it is excellent, and the twist at the end, brilliant. Absolutely love this film. So, Autopsy of Jane Doe, I'm going to give 4.5 evil Ednas. Slithering its way in at number 3 is 2016's The Greasy Strangler. When Big Ronnie and son Big Braden meet lonely tourist Janet on Big Ronnie's disco walking tour, the best and only disco walking tour in the city, a fight for Janet's heart erupts between father and son. To make matters worse, a grease-slathered monster is roaming the streets, searching for his next unsuspecting victim. Who will win Janet's heart, and can they escape the oily clutches of the infamous Greasy Strangler? The Greasy Strangler. Where do I start with this film? If Terry Gilliam was going to do a horror film, I think it'd probably turn out like The Greasy Strangler. This is very, very dark humour. If you've ever watched the Salad Fingers cartoons and you love them, you'll love this film. It's absolutely mental. It's surreal humour. I think you've got to have an almost British sense of humour to get the most out of it. There's parts in it that you'll miss because you laugh too busy laughing at what happened before. The father-son relationship in this is just totally unreal. And I think it's pretty obvious from the off who the Greasy Strangler is, but I don't want to give you any spoilers away on this. But just like I say, if you like very, very dark humour, this is for you. If you don't, if fart jokes upset you, then steer clear of this one. I absolutely love this film. It's one that a lot of people just are not talking about, and I don't understand why, because I think it's great. And with that in mind, I'm going to give this one 4.5 Evil Ednas. Coming in at number 2 is 2015's The Taking of Deborah Logan. In order to complete her medical PhD thesis, Mia Medina and her team record the everyday life of Deborah Logan, an elderly Alzheimer's sufferer trapped in a secluded home by the woods. However, as the study progresses, Deborah's activity becomes more and more abnormal. The video captured rapidly transforms into terrifying evidence of hair-raising occurrences that start to plague Mia and the crew. When inexplicable events and increasingly deadly circumstances reach an intolerable point, panic ensues. With the ever more disturbing footage and Deborah taking a malevolent turn, it becomes sinisterly apparent that a horrifying evil far worse than the debilitating disease has taken control of her. I think this film is probably the most unnerving one on the list. It's out and out horror. Here in the UK, this film's just known as The Taking. I think in the US it was The Taking of Deborah Logan. Either way, this is a film that takes a major panning on YouTube, and I don't know why. There's people absolutely hate this film, rating it's absolute crap. Must have been watching a totally different film to me, because this film is fantastic. It's like a found footage film. I myself am getting pretty bored of found footage, but this one, really enjoyed it. I can highly recommend it. The ending to it it's just total horror. It's the ending scene in the cave. You'll know what I mean when you watch it. That will stick with you for a very long time. And with that in mind, I'm going to give The Taking 5 Evil Ednas. And at the number 1 spot of my alternative top 5 horror movies is 2015's Deathgasm. Metal thrashing Brody is an outcast in a sea of jocks and cheerleaders until he meets a kindred spirit in fellow metalhead Zack. After starting their own band, they find a mysterious piece of sheet music said to grant ultimate power to whoever plays it. But when the music also summons an ancient evil, it's up to Brody, Zack and their group of friends to stop a force of pure evil from devouring all of mankind. Well, what can I say? Deathgasm. This has got everything. It's got horror, it's got heavy metal, and it's got humour. You'll be rooting for Brody from the very first frame. It's got plenty of gore in it as well. If you don't like gore, this is another one you'll have to steer clear of. But it is absolutely fantastic. Sets pieces in it, extremely well done for a low budget film. It's another one I can't understand why more people aren't dealing with it. It's another one maybe because it's heavy metal and we don't want to touch that. But no, this is brilliant. If you don't like heavy metal but you're a fan of horror, you're still going to love this film. Absolutely brilliant, and what an excellent way to top off your Halloween. Deathgasm, top marks. It's going to get 5 evil Ednas. A few others that I'd really like to recommend as well, but I didn't because I feel there's a lot of channels already covered these films already, are Troll Hunter. Now I'd advise you to watch this one with the English subtitles, because the English dubbing on it, I don't know, they're just so flat and lifeless and I think it ruins the film, so watch with the subtitles. British film Possum, starring Sean Harris. That one will really mess with your head. That is awesome film. Australian horror The Babadook. If you can get the DVD version that's got the original short film on which this film was based on, watch that first because that is really freaky. American Mary, starring Catherine Isabel of Ginger Snaps fame. You don't like gore, stay well clear. This is absolute gore fest, this film, but it is brilliant. Absolutely love this. And my all-time favourite horror film, The Woman in Black, starring Daniel Radcliffe. This one, I've watched it 20 times, still gives me the heebie-jeebies, and it's got some of the best jump scares I think you'll ever find in a horror film. And there we have it. That's the end of another episode on the Adrian Bar Project. Hope we all enjoyed it. Please remember to subscribe if you haven't done so, it's very much appreciated. And remember to share and like my videos too. And just before I go, my wife would have liked to wish you all a happy Halloween, but in all the excitement, she's lost her head!